Follow the light. The light is your guide. I'm controller of planet X.
Welcome to MicDrop Analysis. Today we're deconstructing Fazers by King Geedorah, one of the many personas of the late great MFDOOM. Released in 2003 as part of the critically acclaimed album Take Me to Your Leader, Fazers exemplifies Doom's unparalleled lyricism and narrative prowess. We're going to explore two major themes in this track. First is a deep sense of isolation that haunts modern life, and the second is a looming threat of doom that feels ever present. So let's get into it.
And I've invited you here to discuss something that's very...
Isolation and loneliness are major themes in Fazers, coming through in several lines that really emphasize the deep sense of existential solitude our protagonist is dealing with. Doom lays out a harsh truth about the human experience. No matter how many connections we make or relationships that we have, at the end of the day we're all facing life on our own. This line is a blunt reminder that, despite living in a super connected world, we each walk our own path, often feeling isolated along the way. Doom's lyrics and Fazers dive deep into the idea of being so self-reliant that it almost feels isolated. This line suggests that in a world where you can't count on anyone else for validation, you have to be your own biggest supporter. This idea comes up again when he talks about raising kids.
Nowadays it's amazing raising young. Rule number one, keep your Fazers on stun.
Here Doom is painting a picture of how tough and lonely it can be to raise kids in a world that's always out to get you, where you have to stay on high alert just to keep them safe. This focus on survival and looking out for your own really drives home the sense of isolation, hinting that in such a harsh world it's hard to form real trusting relationships. Doom really knows how to spin a story of mistrust and betrayal, which cranks up the feeling of isolation. This line shows how deception is so common that people feel the need to defend their honesty right off the bat, making it hard to form real connections. The mood of suspicion gets even stronger with the raw imagery in the following. Doom saying that to survive you have to stay sharp and be ready to turn anything into a weapon, highlighting a lonely world where trust is rare and looking out for yourself is key. The theme of always being on guard in Fazers really highlights how isolated the main character feels, using strong imagery of constant danger.
When I'm in the hood, razors on tongue. Nowadays,
this line gives us a stark image of a place where violence is always around, making it necessary for people to stay on high alert, unable to trust or show any weakness. The feeling of isolation gets even stronger with the metaphor in the following.
Turn into a triple X monster from a fairy tale movie. He don't know me very well.
This suggests a loss of innocence, where the protagonist is pushed into a darker, harsher reality. This transformation shows how the protagonist is adapting to the dangerous world, but also becoming more and more alienated from what was once a safer, more connected life. It drives home the main theme of isolation even further.
That's very important. King Geedorah.
The song's overall vibe is about that feeling that something bad is about to happen. It gives off this intense, urgent energy. You can totally sense that some impending catastrophe is on its way by just listening to certain lines.
He only here to warn us what the plan is. The hour is up on us, it's bananas. Born alone.
This line paints the narrator as someone who's here to let us know we're on the brink of something major. The phrase, "the hour is upon us," really ramps up that feeling of urgency.
Like one more steps in y'all's corners.
Now this line hits hard. It makes it clear that there's serious consequences ahead. The word goners suggests that there's no coming back from this. It highlights how serious and immediate the threat really is. Doom paints a picture of sudden violence, making it clear that things could get ugly fast if action isn't taken right away.
Wall Street cheetah, a lot of rap noise is annoying like cedar.
At first glance, this sounds like a jab at shallow distractions, but it could actually be a heads up about the risks of not paying attention to the real threats. The frustration with rap noise might suggest a preference for focusing on bigger, looming dangers that often get lost in the noise of everyday, trivial stuff. Doom's lyrics are full of references to conflict and competition. It reflects a world where battles, both literal and metaphorical, they're a constant theme. For example, the line,
allergic to saltpeter, used to be a wall beater.
This mentions gunpowder and past fights, hinting at a life that's been shaped by danger. This warrior-like background highlights the need to stay alert, reinforcing the track's overall vibe that Doom is always lurking around the corner. And in a similar way, when he compares the rap industry to Wall Street,
in the game like a Wall Street cheetah, a lot of rap noises.
He's pointing out just how cutthroat the environment actually is. This comparison paints a picture of a world where threats are everywhere, and the character has to stay constantly on guard, adding to the track's sense of an ever-present looming catastrophe.
Controller of planet X. And I've invited you here.
As we wrap up our look at Fazers, it's clear that MFDOOM, in his King Geedorah persona, has put together something that goes way beyond your usual hip-hop track. He gives us a vivid picture of feeling isolated and facing an uncertain future, a feeling that really taps into the core of what it means to be human. This track just isn't about Doom's amazing wordplay. It also reflects our society. It challenges us to face our own feelings of alienation and anxiety about what lies ahead. It's a powerful example of Doom's genius, urging us to think about our place in a world that often feels as surreal and unsettling as the one he describes. Thanks for watching MicDrop Analysis. Till next time.